Hello, it's Prince Easy coming at you again. And well, as usual, I do have a couple slides that I want to share with you today. And let's get to it, right? So, this new phenomenon that has arisen, right? And of course, as per their tendency, they are going to use children as a clutch to push their agenda of really building a surveillance state where they can no longer be resisted, so to speak, right? This is the whole purpose of this system that they are setting up, right? That they could counter resistance before it becomes a big problem, right? At least in theory, that's what they are going for, right? So until then, all we have is just gaslighting, right? Like in the fine example here we have, right? And sorry for my display had issues. Okay, so I couldn't really screen capture without causing an issue. So this is more of that gaslighting, right? And ECOWAS, SADC, EAC, these are not really reliable relationships, so to speak, right? Right? Because it's just like what happened the other day, every time they do something stupid and they don't want to take responsibility, they escalate even further, pulling Pan-Africanism into the conversation, right? In order for this whole situation to even work, right, some other people have to pull up some slack, right? They have to pull up some slack, right? Because we know the current situations of all of these countries that are around here, right? And all we have been getting really is a lot of hypocrisy, right? There's a few countries that I would say they are, friends to the Tanzanians, right? But most of them are like there just for interests and whatnot, but that's just where we are, right? People are trying to find where they fit in, right? And I don't know, right? Again, when you join this organization, does your sovereignty vanish, right? It's the same question the EAC is facing right now, right? It's by design by the Europeans, right? Themselves are asking, is the EU really a new government now or something, right? With President von der Leyen, right? So I think these are all mechanisms, right? Just like how Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger are finding out that ECOWAS was just another shackle, right? Because, oi, kama kawaida, fresh, right? Because when they chose using their sovereignty, they got into issues and stuff, right? Because I don't know, some of them felt entitled or something, right? But it's not a new phenomenon, right? It's not a peculiar phenomenon in this particular area, right? Again, these people are professionals when it comes to, right, projecting, right? The same statements were used by the Europeans just a few months ago, right? This is more of that gaslighting that we are talking about, right? So they are saying that now the women are having fatigue from, I don't know, taking care of their men's. Is that the case, or is this more of that gaslighting we're talking about, right? So I don't think this is the real phenomenon, right? This complex mechanisms between men and women has been going on for years, right? Some others have even gone as far as to say that these women and men are from different planets, right? I don't think so, right? But I think there's a lot of kamagawa dua hapo. There's a lot of hypocrisy in men and women that makes the whole relationship hard. But if people are genuine, it's I don't know, it's the sweetest thing ever, right? The match needs to stop. Why don't you stop sponsoring death? How about that? Which one is easier? Well, this character here should be familiar, not the Candace Owen, but rather Borgia, right? So it's the same rhetoric, right? Just like what they were saying, Charlie, bro. They were saying about Burkina Faso, they must be isolated and sanctioned, and right. And these are individuals from Kenya. After our country made a sovereign decision, but that really does not affect their countries in any way. They want us to be isolated. Okay. Okay. Well, there is truth in this statement, but if we are to talk about on the ground and the politics thereof, we see that the Orthodox mainly are not against the war really, but they are against participating in the war, right? Participating in the war, right? They have political movements within the Zionist government to make sure that they are not, what do you call it, conscripted, right, into the fighting force, and this has been an issue for a long time, right? And of course, there are some that are suffering right now because of their anti-war stance, right? In prison, beaten up, right? I've seen these individuals and stuff, right? But let's talk about the enabling, right? Who enables these people? And the answer is we, or rather some of us, enable these people by going along, for whatever reason, right? So if they go along, then both parties then have to suffer the consequences, right? That's just the reality of the situation. Right? So who is enabling this type of rhetoric, right? Just because of a Twitter spat, he has moved nuclear armed submarines in striking distance. right? And you think that we as humanity, we have made the right decisions. Nah, we went somewhere somewhere we went very wrong, right? And this, I think, is the time to figure that out, right? And like I said, whatever comes comes, and like I once said, in order to do this, you have to be dead. Literally, you have to be dead in your mind. Mhm. And of course, Pete the Crusader reposted the whole thing, right? So that is the digest of the week, so to speak, right? The disaster that has unfolded in the last few days of me posting video here, right? 3 days, if by looking at the thing on my channel. So yeah, this is about us getting our humanity back, right? If you are a captain of a submarine and you are ordered to initiate a strike, a nuclear strike on a population, there, right? There, then and there. These are the moments, we call them, right? That differentiates humans and animals, right? Humans and animals, man and beast, right? Soldiers and warriors, right? And here is where we find the difference, right? Since the security apparatus of the world is at their disposal, then in one part, like them, you are held responsible for whatever is going to happen. Okay, it's not gonna be avoidable no more. It's not gonna be buried no more, right? The grave is full. Right? So yeah, let me not go on for hours and minutes at this point, right? Prince Easy, love you, signing out. Bye Zion, bye world.